Hello everyone, welcome to the session. And today's agenda is to make you familiar with the methods, various methods which we can actually apply on dictionaries. Some of them are actually not inbuilt method dictionaries like length. This is nothing to do with the dictionary because this length we can actually use it on a string, on a tuple, on a list, on a set, on a dictionary, everywhere. Okay, so we'll get started with all these methods mentioned over here one by one, and then once that is done, then we'll be familiar with various methods of length basically. And wherever I've just put a pound sign before the methods, we cannot directly apply a count on dictionaries, and then we cannot apply reversed. Like not if you want to actually reverse a dictionary, that is directly not possible, but there are indirect ways using which we can achieve the same. So now let us do one thing. Let us get started with the first method that is known as length. Let me open PyCharm, and then I'm just going to write a program over here. It's giving dictionary method, and this is not a dictionary method, but we are actually using length on a dictionary, and we'll see. Okay, let's say I have the information info equals to here I have let's say name is the key, and the value is Subbu. Then I have another key, the key is location. As I mentioned in the previous session, right, you can actually put the key and values in the multiple lines too, and make sure now you're using the separator. So location, here I'm just giving Bangalore, and then here I'm just giving the value of year this. Let's say for example, this is my current year. I'm just giving 2022, and then here it is flagging error because comma is missing, and definitely we can actually have few other keys here. Let's say I'm just giving country name CN. CN stands for country name, and here I'm just giving one space is enough. If you're specifying one space is actually enough, multiple spaces also not going to create any problem. Country name I'm just giving India here, and here is the separator. And let's say I'm just giving here my date of joining DOJ, and I have a date of joining here. Let's say for example I've just given 0101 2008 for example. Okay, so that's all about dictionary keys here. So this is how we can actually define, we can specify all the keys and values in the same line itself. It's going to work for better readability and better screen capture. I'm just doing in multiple lines. So if you need if this info dictionary is containing 5 keys, then we can actually process further. Okay, so now how do we tell the system that we do have 5 keys? Then in that case what I can actually define is I can simply go ahead use the length function. Here I can specify if length of info is 5. Let's say I'm just printing good to process, good to process. Okay, I'm just giving here, let's say print the date of joining info. Then here we can say DOJ. And remember guys, these keys are actually case sensitive. Okay, we can actually run the program and then see here you can see good to process, and it's saying 1/1/2008. So this is how you can actually process the particular key, or you can actually fetch or access the particular key value, basically the value of the specific key here, and the key here is actual date of joining. If I put date of joining in small case, it's not going to work. If I'm going to put DOJ, let's say J in small case, due to some error, human error, we have given instead of capital J, we are giving small j here, and then definitely we are going to get the error message. That error is known as key error. So now here you can see key error, we are going to get it. So make sure you are actually using the proper case. and there is no shortcuts. There is no other options available. You have to use the case because dictionary keys are actually case sensitive. Okay, so this is all about like now how do we deal with the length, and then I'm just going to give you the second example. The second example here is dictionary, and dictionary is a method using which you can actually create dictionaries. I'm just going to tell you different ways like now how do we deal with dictionary method. Now here I'm just giving dictionary method, and the method name is dictionary. Now here we go, and let's say I have a dictionary one, and the dictionary one is dictionary of. Here I can specify in braces. I can have the key value pair. Let's say, for example, name equals to Subbu, location equals to Bangalore. I can specify it. Okay, I can specify this. Name equals to Subbu, location equals to Bangalore. We can actually do this way. It is also going to work. Now, if I'm specifying like now print dictionary one, and it is going to print everything in the same line. Now, sit here, name Subbu, location equals to Bangalore. Now, whenever you want to create like let's say for example I have like year, cn and date of joining and another dictionary. I'm just going to define another dictionary 2 here, or I can define a list basically. Let's say list. I have list 1, and which is having the key value pairs. Let's say this is my key 1, then this is my key 2, and here I'm just having date of joining, and the date of joining I'm just having a date 0101, let's say 2010, and then here I have let's say for example my preference. Okay, here I can say, or I can say preference, RENC preference. Here as AWS, I'm just giving my preference is actually AWS. Some error message it is flagging because it said the pairs basically, right? Key and value pairs, and it should be enclosed in tuples, and this is list. Now, if you want to actually define another dictionary, let's say dictionary 2 equals to dict. Here I can specify list 1. Here you can see I'm just passing a list here. In the above case, I was actually passing the key value pair using curly braces. Okay, and here I'm just using the dictionary method, and what I'm doing here is I'm just passing a list here. Okay, so now let us see what is the value of dictionary 2. Print dictionary 2, and then if I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually printing all the values, key value pairs. This is another way of doing it. If you want to actually do it differently, let's say for example, I have defined a dictionary 3, and the dictionary 3 is directly having the values like this dictionary, and then we are actually specifying the entire list here. Okay, this is also quite possible. You really don't need a temporary variable. If you are having a list and which is having pairs, key and value pairs, you can directly pass it to the dictionary method and give a variable name here. In your case, like now it is dictionary 3, and this dictionary 3 will be having all the key value pairs whatever is actually available there in this particular line, like line number 7. Like here you can see date of joining and preferences. Okay, so now if I'm running this program, here you can see we are getting the correct result. Okay, so remember guys, the dictionary method use cases. First one, you can pass using the curly braces the key value pair and call the dictionary method explicitly. Second use case, you can pass a list where list is a variable here, right? And then the third use case, you can definitely pass the key value pairs like the tuples. Those are enclosed in tuples, and in turn they are actually present within a list, and you can directly pass the list and create the dictionary. Then the fourth use case of dictionary is to create an empty dictionary. So this is going to create an empty dictionary. So this is how you can deal with dictionary method. If I'm running this program, here you can see the interesting output. So here you can see this is an empty dictionary. So this is all about dictionary method. The next method over here is like keys and values. In my previous session, we have gone through keys, values, and items. Quickly, I'm just going to give an example so you can revisit and then see like how it is working. So let me write another Python file like dictionary method, key, keys, values, then items actually, not item. So now let me do one thing. Let me take this dictionary and just going to reuse this dictionary throughout today's session. So now here I'm just giving like print dictionary. Here the dictionary name is actually info. Okay. If I do print info, it is printing everything in one line. If I give like I want all the keys, then definitely what we can do here is we can give like info.keys, get me the keys. And now if I'm running this program, here you can see this is giving the dictionary keys, and here it is having name, location, year, then country name, then date of joining. And if you want like all the values, we can get all the values using dot values. We have gone through like in details the keys, values, how to iterate and all like in the previous session. So I'm not going to tell in details right now in this session. You may watch like the particular session in YouTube. So now here you can see input values, you can actually get all the values. Now if your requirement is to get all the items, then in that case what we can do, we can use the method like items, info.items, right? So now if I'm running this program, here you can see this is actually giving us the items which is present, and here you can see it is all in key value pairs, or you can we just call it as actual pairs. Okay, this is ideally nothing but a tuple, and the first element is a key, and then the second element is the value. Okay, so now that's all about keys, values, and items. Okay, so now if a requirement is to understand like how many methods are actually available, simply what you can actually do, we can type let's say info dot, here you can see keys we are familiar now, items we are actually familiar now, values we are actually familiar now, right? And then we there are n number of methods. Let us say like now what are the default methods in dictionary, supported methods in dictionary. We do have key, items, values, then we have pub, get, pub item, update, then copy, clear, from keys, then we do have set default. These are the methods which are actually available or supported with dictionaries. Apart from this, we can use length, min, max, sorted, reversed, cleared, and all this stuff. Okay, so now del for deleting any particular key value pair, or we can actually delete the entire dictionary. So let me like now tell you like what is get here. Okay, let me tell you the next method, that is get. So how do we deal with that? Let me write another program, dictionary method, get. Now Python file, here we do have the same dictionary. Now print, let's say for example I want to print my name. um, Here it is like now the name key is name, the value is Subbu. If I want to print, I can specify info and I'm looking for name. So it is going to give me the result as like now Subbu. The same thing we can actually do it, the same thing we can actually do using get. So now if I'm specifying info.get, and here also we can specify name, it does the same thing. Then the question could be like if both are same, why we are having another method get here? I'll just tell you. Let's say for example I don't have let's say my first name. Okay, like fname. I don't have fname in this dictionary. If I'm using like fname is not available, I'm just giving like no. If it is not available, return Subhasis. So this is quite possible. Now in this case, it's just going to return if fname is not present. Only in that case it is going to return Subhasis. If fname is present and some value is there, then it is not going to return the value whatever you're actually specifying here, actually in the get method. Let's say to understand this better, let us see like what will be the output. Let's say for example, location is present and location is India. Now I'm just saying like now location is USA. Now location is present. In this case, it should return Bangalore. It is not going to return USA. But first name, this key is actually F name is not present here. So it is definitely going to return Subhasis. And in this case, this is the optional parameter. If you're not giving anything, then exact key should match. Okay, but this functionality is not available when you are actually using dictionary followed by square bracket and then putting like name in quotes, single quotes or double quotes. You cannot specify the default values. So that's the reason why we are having like get here. Now if I'm running this program, look at here, like here you can see Subhasis you are getting. Now the question could be, is Subhasis added to the dictionary? The answer is no. It it is not going to modify anything. It's not going to modify anything. If it is not there, don't add it. Only return it. Okay. So now, if I'm running this program, here you can see first name is not added over here because name is there, location is there, year is there, country name is there, date of joining is there, but first name is not added. So it is not going to add. It's just going to manipulate. That's it. Now, if your requirement is no, if the key is not present, it should actually assign this value, key value to the dictionary. How do we do it? So we can actually do it using set default. Set default is a method. Using set default method, if particular key is not available, we can actually add it to the dictionary using set default method. Set default. Let me tell you how to do that. Let's say here I'm just specifying print. Okay. Here I'm just specifying dictionary dot set default. Okay. So here I'm just giving first name. Then here I'm just giving as Subhasis. Let us see like what is going to happen, and then before we do this operation, let us see what is the value of dictionary, print dictionary 1, and then I want to print the dictionary after invoking the set default method. Now look at here, what is the output? Now here you can see it is not dictionary 1, it is info, and here also it is info. Okay, so and here also it is info because the dictionary, it's not dictionary 1, it is information. The dictionary name is information. Now if I'm running this program, here you can see, look at here, it is interesting. The first time when you have actually executed here, right, the print statement at line number 7, it is printing the dictionary as is. The line number 8, we are trying to fetch the value of fname. It is not present. What it is going to do, it is going to return Subhasis, and it is going to add the key, that is fname, to the dictionary, that is info, and it is going to update the value as actually Subhasis. Now it is Subhasis is here, the output is Subhasis. Now, if I'm printing the dictionary to check if this fname has been added, the fname has been added over here. Now, let's say for example, location Bangalore is there. Now I want to change the location to US. Now I want to change the location to US. Let us see whether it is possible. Is it going to update? The answer is no. It is not going to do that. So now whenever we are having like a location followed by USA, remember guys, the name itself, it says set default. If it is not there, set a default value. If I'm focusing here, you can see the documentation. Here it says insert the key with value of default if the key is not present in the dictionary. Return the value if the key is already present. Now in this case, location, the key is already present. And what is the value? Bangalore. So it's not going to return as USA. It's not going to change the dictionary as well. Okay, so it is going to set like print as Bangalore. But immediately, if you check whether US has been updated, US should not be updated. So now here we can actually execute the program and then see here it is returning Bangalore. And when I'm cross verifying whether my location has been changed to US, no, location has not been changed to US. The location is actually still Bangalore. So this is how we can actually do it. Set default. Remember, guys, get is to get the item, get the item from the, or get the key. Well, so you can specify the key and get the respective value. If the key is not present, you can get a default value. You can define that, but it is not going to modify the dictionary and it is not going to add that particular key to the dictionary. If a requirement is, if it is not there, then you can, instead of get, you should actually use set default. So this is all about the method set default. Now let us proceed further with the next method, that is known as pop. Pop, we have actually familiar with the pop method. It will be popping the element, it will be popping the element from the dictionary. Here, I'm just going to tell you how it is going to work in a dictionary. Okay, so now with list, tuple, pop is there. We can actually pop from the beginning, pop any item using the index, or if you are not specifying any index, it's going to pop the last item. Here we'll see how do we deal with the pop method, dictionary method, then pop here. And I'm just going to use the same dictionary info. And if I'm specifying here like print dictionary dot pop, okay, now I have to specify a key. Let's say for example pop location. Now before we pop it, we should actually print the info here. It is not dictionary, it is info. Okay, so now here if I'm specifying the information dictionary here, printing the information dictionary here, you can see this location value will be printed as actually Bangalore. This is output of line number 8, and this location will be removed from the dictionary because that is how the pop method works. Okay, so now if I'm running this program, here you can see it is printing Bangalore, and if you can see the location is actually no longer present. Now you can try, let's say for example, I want the last item and you are saying okay, let us use pop method here. Let us use the pop method here and see what's going to happen. Guys, you are going to get error. Just remember, tuple, we can use this. List, we can use this. Dictionary, pop method requires at least one argument, that is nothing but the key. Now if I'm running this program, definitely we are actually going to get error. Here it is saying, as I mentioned, pop expected at least one argument. So if I'm focusing on pop, here you can see there is no detailed documentation. We can actually go to the python.org documentation page and check it, or else just remember here you can see pop expected at least one argument. That is nothing but we can specify here, let's say for example location. In this case we can specify that, let's say I want to do one thing, I want to use a fname. Now this pop is not available. Here I can say if name is Subhasis. Whether it is possible, let us see. If name is not present, I'm just saying pop it. Now let us see what is going to happen here. It is returning Subhasis. So pop, you should actually use the key. Pop, you can actually use the key followed by a default value. If this key is not present, it is going to return the default value as actual Subhasis. Okay, so this is how the pop method works. We do have another method that is known as pop item. Pop item, what it is going to do, it is going to pop the item from the last. Let us try to understand that example, and then we can actually find out the difference between pop and pop item. Now Python file, dictionary, method pop item, pop item. Now here we go. If I'm specifying print, let's say the dictionary is info, and I'm just printing here print info dot pop item. If I'm giving like a pop item doesn't require any arguments. We should not specify anything. So this is the key takeaway. Pop requires a key. Pop item doesn't require anything. So what it is going to do, it is going to pop out date of joining. Now let me try it out, like see whether it is deleting the key value uh, from the info dictionary or not. We can verify it here. Here you can see name Subbu, location Bangalore. Similarly, the last key value pair is date of joining, and then followed by the date of joining, the value over here, right? So when I did like the pop item, it has popped out the last item. I did not specify which key. We cannot specify the key also. If you are specifying a key, it is going to throw error. For example, here I'm just giving pop item, then location. Definitely you are going to get the error message saying pop item doesn't need any parameters. Here you can see type error, dictionary pop item, text no arguments. You should not actually use the key with the pop item. Pop requires a key, pop item doesn't require any key. Now this is how the pop item works. Now if I do the pop item again, okay, the method pop item again, in the first case it should actually get us the date of joining. Then the second case, you can see the key value pair, basically the pairs like C and India. If I'm running this program, here you can see this is actually fetching C and India. And if you look at the list, so look at the dictionary, the key values are actually getting removed. The question is, if I'm having n number of items, my requirement is actually pop item until the dictionary is empty. How do I do it? Same like a tuple, same like list. We can actually traverse it through a while loop and then pop item as per our requirement. Let me give you one more example here, like new Python file, and here I'm just giving while pop item. Let's say dictionary and while pop item. Python file. Now this is my information dictionary. I can specify file dictionary name. Here I'm just giving info, and here I'm just specifying print dictionary, that is actually info dot pop item. That is very simple, info dot pop item, then done. Now if I'm running this program, you can see this is how it is going to pop out. Okay, and if I want to verify, at last I'm just going to check if my dictionary is empty or not. I can give info here, and I can still see the information dictionary becomes blank here. To verify this, I can actually put a print over here, and just to ensure, like we are having the complete dictionary. And if you look at the output carefully, you can understand this is a complete dictionary, and we are using a pop item using a while loop. Okay, and then it is popping out the items from the last. Okay, this is popping out the items from the last. If you ask me, can we pop out like from the beginning? The answer is no. It's not list. It's not list because pop item doesn't take any keys. In case of list and tuple, we can specify if your requirement is to pop out from the beginning, you can give like an index 0 over there. List and tuple, we do have that functionality, but dictionary, we do not have anything like 0, 1, 2, 3 indexing, we do not have it. We have only keys and values. And pop item doesn't require any arguments. We cannot do that. So this is how the pop item works. Whenever your requirement is like popping out from the last, you can actually do it. You can ask me if my requirement is actually pop out from the beginning, how do I do it then? So in that case, what you need to do is you can directly reverse it or reverse it and then reverse the dictionary. I'll just tell you, though there is like no direct ways we can reverse it. I'll just let you know a workaround using which we can reverse a dictionary and then we can actually pop out. Okay, so now let us go ahead, see like what are things we are actually familiar so far. Length, dictionary keys, values, item, get, and then we are actually familiar with pop and pop item and set default. Now I'm going to tell you few others like del and delete, then update, then copy. Let us go ahead and learn how it is going to work. So let me tell you here Python, then Python file, dictionary, then method is delete. And guys, remember, this is not a dictionary method. This can be actually applied on any variable. You can actually delete a variable like delete followed by variable name, delete a list, delete followed by the list name, delete a list item. Then you can actually use a index along with the list name. Similarly, you can delete the tuple item. You can use the tuple name followed by the index. Similarly, here if I want to actually delete, let's say for example, I want to delete cname. I want to delete cname. Now, here I can specify print dictionary. The dictionary name is info. And here I'm just going to do delete of what? Info is my dictionary, and then followed by I can specify the key, and key is actually country name. Let's say I'm just going to delete the country name. Now here you can see the country name has been deleted. Here you can see the country name has been deleted. It is not present in here because we have deleted it. If a requirement is delete the entire dictionary, you can do that. If we are giving this, then it is actually going to delete it. How do I verify it? Definitely, it is going to, if I'm giving like a print info, so the error message we are going to get is name error because the name is no longer present, the dictionary is no longer present, right? So now if I'm running this program, here you can see like a name error. As soon as you're actually getting name error, that means the variable is not defined or deleted previously. Okay, so now don't do this, and during the practice you can actually watch the video and then go ahead, try this out and experience the name error here. Okay, so we can actually delete the dictionary element, and we can also delete here we say like dictionary key, basically not element. List and tuple we call it as elements, but dictionary we call it as actually keys. So now delete then followed by dictionary is going to delete the entire dictionary. So this is about delete and um, and then followed by you can actually use like the dictionary name. Okay, so that's it. That's how you can actually delete it. I'm going to tell you how the copy works. Copy is interesting. Copy and cloning. These are two things I'm just going to tell you. One is dictionary copy. That's shallow copy and deep copy. Let's say I am having like my info and then info1 equals to info. Let us say like what's going to happen. Now I'm just saying, I'm just setting like info1 of name equals to Deepak. Okay. Now let us see what is the data before I update this, like print info and print info1 and then I just change the value of name info1 to Deepak. Now let me see what is the value in the info1 or info itself. Okay, let us see. Now look at here, guys. Earlier it was like Subbu and Subbu. This is info and info1. Now I have changed the info1 value to Deepak. Trying to print info, it is actually giving as Deepak. Why? Because in this case, the identifiers are actually same. Let's say if I'm giving like an ID of info and then ID of info1, Here you can see both the IDs are actually same. Now let us look at here, okay, closely. So guys, remember, as like list and tuple, the same thing is actually happening here. So this is known as deep copy because they are pointing to the same address. Now the question is, how do I do a shallow copy? Shallow copy is like not just a cloning, how do I do it? So in that case, what you can actually do, let's say for example, info2 is my dictionary. I'm just copying it, info dot copy. That's it. Let us take a copy at the beginning before we modify it, okay? So now info dot copy. Now, if I'm going to print here, like now print info2, it will be having Subbu. See here, earlier it was like Subbu, Deepak. Now info2 have given using copy. The identifier here will be like not different. Let's say for example, if you want to print the identifier here of info2, ID of info2 is a dictionary and we have used a copy method here, right? So now if I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually having Subbu. And the interesting fact here you can notice info and info1 is having same identifier because we have used the operator only equals to in between. Okay, just creating a aliasing, or you can say like now alias, we are creating alias or known as deep copy. Technically it is known as deep copy. And the shallow copy is like not just the cloning, you can use like the copy method. Like in dictionary tuple, wherever we have like the copy methods, we can actually or copy it. Basically, tuple doesn't have copy method. Tuple doesn't have actually copy method. We do have copy method in the list because tuple is immutable, dictionary is mutable, list is mutable, right? So we can actually use copy methods and mutable objects. So in this case, the object type is dictionary. So that's all about like copy and like using copy, using equal to, and then using the copy method. If I want to, let us revisit like now what are the methods we have gone through. We have gone through pub, copy, get, set default, popitem, items, keys, values, and I'm just going to tell you like update, clear, and from keys. Update, clear, and from keys. So these are like interesting methods. These are the three methods. We'll just go through it. Let us go through like update, clear, and from keys. Now let me tell you the example of update. How do we use the update method with dictionary? Now here I'm just giving dictionary method update. Update is like, if you remember in list, to deal with the items, we were having like the methods like insert, append, extend, right? Similarly, here we do have like update. Update method is there. So now let's say like how to use update here. I'm having info here, and let's say this is my dictionary one, I'm just ending it here, and I'm just going to define my dictionary2. Dictionary2 is this, okay? So just reusing the same values. Now look at here. If I give dictionary1 dot update of dictionary2, let us see like now what's going to happen. If I before I update it, okay, if I'm specifying like print dictionary1, and after the update if I print dictionary1, let us see like now what is the output here. Now here you can see earlier it was name and location. Then we did actually update. Update is what update is doing. Update is adding all these key value pairs or appending all these key value pairs to the existing dictionary dict1. So now when I'm using the dictionary1 dot update, dictionary 2, then in this case, it is actually updating the key value pairs from dictionary 2 to the dictionary 1. This is one way we can actually use update. The another way we can actually update is, let's say dictionary 1 dot update. I'm just giving here update, and I'm just giving here my last name is Sam. I can specify like this, lname. It is a in previous session we have done that, and let's say last name I'm just giving here Sam. Okay, so now here you can see print dictionary 1, the last name will be actually added, lname will be actually added at the end. So this is how we can actually specify too. So you can update it like this, and you can also update it like this one. Now if I want to update like multiple values like this, let's say my first name I'm just giving Subhasis, and then here I'm just giving cloud, something like this, cloud equals to AWS. Now let us see what is the output here. Okay, so now here you can see it has actually added the first name, and then you can see the cloud has been actually added. So this is how you can actually deal with the update function. Then I'm just going to tell you how do we deal with clear, the method clear. Okay, now let me write another program to make you familiar with the method clear. Now dictionary method clear. Here we go. Let's say I don't actually delete it. Delete is going to delete the entire dictionary. Let's say if I'm specifying del space dictionary 2, in this case, it is going to destroy the dictionary. But my requirement is just to clear it, just to reset it. Okay. Now here, what I can actually do is I can set dictionary clear. Let's say here I'm just printing print dictionary 2, and after clearing, if I want to actually print dictionary 2, let us see like now what is going to happen. Here you can see you can actually clear the entire dictionary. So this is dictionary dot clear. Now if I say like dictionary 1 dot, we can actually definitely use the clear as well here. Right now I can specify clear. Okay, and then print dictionary 1, you can see the items are actually clear. Okay, this is how you can actually deal with clear. Then the last method, dictionary method, the inbuilt method dictionary has from keys. Dictionary has an inbuilt method known as from keys. Now dictionary method, then from keys. Python file, if I'm actually having this method, let's say for example we really don't need this, I can, okay, let me do one thing, name, location and year. Okay, I can specify like this, let's say list 1, or I can say keys, my keys or info keys. Here I'm having a tuple, and I do have keys like name, let's say location, then my identity card ID, and I'm having a let's say for example I have this one, and I want to create a dictionary like an info. This is dictionary dot from keys info underscore keys. If I specify here print info, here you can see it is definitely going to create a dictionary from the keys, name, location and ID. But what will be the values? The values, default values will be none. Default values will be none. Now here you can see none, none and none. What is none? Just giving a quick understanding, none is a special data type. Right? None is a special data type. So in Python, we do have a special data type none. So now, if you are not specifying anything, then in this case, it is actually taking the value as none. Now let's say, for example, I have the default value The default value is, let's say I'm just giving undefined. Now, if I'm specifying like another information DB, let's say for example information dictionary, and specifying created from the case, and my default value is default value over here. Now, if I'm printing what is there in info1, in the first case, it was printing like now the dictionary name none, location is none, ID is none. In this case, it is going to take the default value. This default value is actually nothing but undefined. If I'm running this program, you can see this is how we can actually see the undefined values. Guys, whenever you are actually dealing with a dictionary, and let's say for example, you are actually dealing with employee records, and you are expecting like 10 fields, and before iterating, you want to actually create a dictionary like with the 10 keys, and everything will be set to none or some default values. Some default value you can actually use the from keys method, and as a variable which contains like some default value, undefined, null, or anything else for your requirement, and then use dictionary name followed by sorry dictionary dot from keys, then followed by you need to pass two parameters. One is the keys, and then the second one is actually the value. So this is how the dictionary keys and the values are actually working. Okay, so this is all about the methods which are actually available by default with dictionary. Look at here, like no values, items, get, delete, update, copy, popitem from keys, and set default. Now we are going to deal with maximum, minimum. Maximum, minimum, we have actually used it. Maximum, minimum. What we can actually do, we can do a max between numbers, max between like the basically the string, right? We cannot use the combinations and the okay. Let me tell you like now how the maximum, minimum, and count is actually going to work. Okay, on a dictionary. Let me write a function, sorry, Python program, dictionary method we are going to use is min max. Okay, min and max we are actually going to use. Now look at here. My dictionary, I'm just going to use that same dictionary. Let me see the same dictionary here. I'm just going to use it here. Now I'm just print minimum of information. Minimum of information. Now guys, look at here. What is the minimum of information? The key, basically if you look at it, is C. It starts with C, so it should be actually printing CL. Okay, the key is actually going to printing sorry, DOJ. Okay, it's capital case because small case, capital case, alphabet. Let's say for example, to understand this, I can actually give you an example here, that is worthy of C and followed by worthy of D. Worthy of D. This is going to print the ASCII values basically of C and D. Now here you can see it is 9968. Definitely DOJ first in the ASCII, like capital letters will be there, and then followed by the small case letters will be coming, right? So C, the ASCII value is 99, and D, the ASCII value is 68 because this is a capital case, right? So now in this case, it is going to print the minimum of this particular dictionary is nothing but the date of joining. If you want like the maximum value here, you can definitely specify like now maximum of info, and here you can see it is actually giving name, because n will be having like with the last one, because C, then L, then n will be having the ASCII value of n is actually higher, so that's the reason it is printing like DOJ and name. Let's say your requirement is you want all the items. Basically, I want to give like this print minimum of info dot items. Minimum of info dot items. Let us see like now what is going to happen here. It is actually printing date of joining is this one. This is the minimum item. If I'm specifying, the maximum of information, maximum of input items, we can definitely specify this. Let's say nen Subbu in this case. Okay, so this is how minimum and maximum we can actually use. Let me actually tell you one more program, and where we'll be having like an order IDs and then followed by the amount, for example. Where we can use the order IDs and then followed by the order value basically, and then we can see like how to deal with the maximum and minimum of the orders. So let me write another program, Python, new Python file, a dictionary method min max one is the example one. Okay, so now here we go. Let's say I am having like an order, and in the order I uh, do have the order IDs. Just giving here order IDs ORD 1234 or 1234. I'm just specifying here. Then colon I have 1234. Okay, and then ORD, or in this case I'm having ORD in capital case. I'm having 2345, and here the value is 567. Let's say I'm having the order ID AAXB. This is special order ID. I'm just having the order ID is this, and I have like the order ID is 89 or something like 89070. Okay. Now I do have the order ID here in capital case AA, then 23BBC, and then this is a test order. I'm just having the order ID as 12 rupees. And then I have another order ID, let's say 987 ORD 1234. In real time, will not be having like the order IDs in this format, because it should be like uh, it should be used with certain standards. Let's say I'm having the order ID as 2341. Let's say this is my orders. Now, if I'm specifying get me print the minimum of the orders, okay, minimum of order, what it is going to give me, let us see, it is actually going to give us 98 toward the 1234, but this is not the minimum one is actually AA based on the value, but what it is doing, it is comparing the ASCII values of the keys and returning like this is the minimum order. Now your requirement is, I'm not actually looking for this, I'm actually looking for the value 12. How do I get it? So guys, don't worry, like we do have like the minimum method. If we focus here, minimum method supports a key where we can specify a key. Like we can specify from where you want the minimum, you can specify in this case dictionary, and then we can specify a key. I'm just specifying a key, and I'm just going to use a lambda function. So don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. In the function, I'm just going to tell you lambda will be having a separate session altogether to understand how lambda works. In this case, for each element in this dictionary, give me the value. Let's say I can say like, how do I tell X? X is like any element. You can put A, B, C, anything, well, anything. So for X, for each element, each key in this particular dictionary, the key for minimum is the value. How do I get the value? Then we can say like an order of X, because X is key. Order of X is value. So we can say here it is like order of X. If I do this, then what we are actually saying? I want the minimum from where? Now this order. What is my key? Like you take each key is like now X, you can put key, you can put value, you can put A, you can put double X, anything is fine. And what you want? I want the values. Use this as key and get me the minimum. Now in this case, if you run this program, here we can actually get it AA23BBC. Now you can actually ask me a question. That's fine, but I'm actually looking for the complete item. How do I do it? Let us say how to do that. Now friend, if I give like the minimum of order.items, I can specify like minimum of order.items. Now here you can see it is giving 987, it's not giving AA. So now how do I specify this one? Again, I want AA23 BBC followed by 12. How do I tell the system? Same thing. Copy the key and paste it here. Instead of items, instead of only items, you can put items followed by key of this. Now, if I'm running this program, it is actually giving me the exact value. Let's say here we are getting like now order.items, minimum order.items, then key equals to lambda of x, then order of x. One moment, something went wrong. Now I'm just going to run this program again. Some error message is coming. Let us see. Key error, order 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I see. I got it. Like now, what is the problem? Let me see. Order 1, 2, 3, 4. Minimum x of x. Key error. Okay, anyway, we'll just get that done. I'll just tell you like now how to deal with this. So, I think somewhere in the session I was just exploring today. Let me put it out. Okay, so I think it should be there. So session, yeah, session.py. Let me tell you here. Okay, so now it should actually work specifically. I'm just checking like now what is going wrong over there. So minimum, maximum. I got it. So now what we can actually do here is, let me close it out and move to the last program. Here we go. Not this one. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So now what we can actually do, we can actually do it differently. We'll just do that. So don't worry. So now if I'm running this program, it is actually giving me this, and if my requirement is to apply based on some keys, we can definitely do that. Let me see where the things are actually not going wrong. I think I was copy pasting it somewhere else. It should be minimum of order.items, and then it should actually be here. If it's not working, then we'll explore further. Okay, that's fine. I'll just let you know like now how to deal with this. So this is a coordinate items, how we can actually get the minimum, and if you want actually the maximum, then you can actually definitely use the maximum here, and I can specify like max here, and here we go. We can get the max. So and then if you want like the maximum based on the value, we can do this way. Maximum of the values, I can specify the instead of min, I can actually use max. So here we go. So instead of min, we can actually use the max. And if you want like the values basically, then what we can actually definitely do, we can do a min and max on the keys and values too. That's a maximum of dictionary is like an order dot keys, and we can also do maximum of values too. This is another way we can actually deal with it. Now values too. Now if I'm running this program, here you can see like it is giving the maximum value. Okay, and if you want like for example, before we proceed further, I'm just going to tell you like the keys it returns. Let's say for example, if I'm printing here print order dot keys, and if I'm printing like an order dot values, if I'm printing order dot values, here you see we are getting like dictionary values and dictionary keys. These are like nothing but two lists. So now if I want to like zip it, I can actually do that. Let's say for example print, instead of using items, if you want to zip it, zip order.values, order.values, then followed by zip the order.values, and then followed by you want uh, the order.keys, we can definitely do that. Order, oops, order.keys, we can definitely do this. Okay, so now if I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually giving us key value pairs, and then okay, this is zip, it is returning a zip object. Zip object is nothing but an iterable, so whenever you want to actually convert it to a list or like a dictionary, we can actually do that. Let's say for example, if I'm giving like now it is giving dictionary keys, if I'm explicitly giving dictionary, then let us see what is going to happen. Sorry, it should be list, not dictionary. It should be a list. Okay, so now if I'm running it here, what's happening today? Zip up order value. Let me see. Zip up order.value, then order.keys. I think it's because of this extra brackets, it's throwing error. Yeah, so now here it should actually work fine. And if I'm giving like a list of this, okay, and if I'm running this program, here you can see. So this is how we can actually get the list. And here you can see like what we have done. It is like a key value, but in this case of zipping, we are actually getting a list, right? Getting a list. Now, if you want the reverse of it, like it should be like value followed by the keys in a dictionary. We can actually do it using a dictionary too. Then now here you can see this becomes a dictionary. Now if you want the key value based on like let's say for example the maximum value over here, let's say maximum value, what we can actually do here is print. It is going to look very complex, so don't worry, like now as you practice you'll be like now getting familiar. Okay, if I'm giving like now max of these values, then here you see you can actually get the max. If you want like now max of all the items, then definitely you can actually specify dictionary dot items. Again, it is becoming like a very difficult. So maximum of, if I give here like now this is the dictionary scope, I'm just giving like items. Hope it should work. No, it's not working because it's integer and then followed by maybe a combination of the keys. So let's say what's happening here. Okay. So now this is how we can actually, it again depends. Like now I don't have a specific example to showcase, but again, like now min, max and all, we can actually use it. Similarly, if you want to actually sort it, we can definitely use sorting as well. Okay. Sorting and reverse as well. So let me spend another 5 more minutes and then tell you like now how the sorting and the reverse works actually on a dictionary. Now dictionary, then sorted versus reversed. It's not versus and sorted and reversed. Okay. Now let's say I'm having this order ID and I want to sort it. What I can actually do here is I can specify print. Let's say for example I'm just printing like an order. Just print order. You can see it like this is the order ID. If you want to have this sorted based on the keys, you can use like sorted. You can use sorted and then followed by the order. Now here you can see the difference. Here you can see it is printing only like now let's say the keys, basically the keys here, right? Keys are actually sorted. In the earlier case it was not sorted. Okay. Now, if you want to sorted based on the items, then you can specify sorted based on items. Okay. Now here you can see sorted based on the items. So yeah, this is pairs. And if you want, like basically this is ascending order. If it is like now you want in the descending order, you want the order 1, 2, 3, 4 in the beginning, then followed by A, X, B, then this order, then last order should be 9, 8, 7. We can also do that. Okay, items. Then here I can say reverse equals to, if you are actually, if you have used it in tuples, list and all, then definitely you must be familiar now. Reverse equals to, let's say I'm just giving like not true, reverse equals to true. If I'm giving reverse equals to true, here you can see it has been reversed. Okay, so sorted and reverse order of sorting. Similarly, you can sort based on the keys, sort based on the values too. I'm just giving like print order dot values, and I want to I want the values in the sorted order. Okay, so I can actually do this. If I'm running this program, here you can see this is the values in the sorting order. And if you want the values to be sorted in the descending order, then what you need to do here is order.keys, then sorry, order.values, then here you can see like reverse equals to true. If I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually a reverse order of sorting. So this is how we can actually use like the sorted method on the dictionaries. And similarly, we can also use reversed. But guys, remember, we cannot reverse a dictionary directly. We cannot reverse a dictionary directly. Let me tell you why we cannot actually use it. What it is going to throw the error. Let us see. Let's say dictionary reversed. Okay, now I am having a Python file, having this dictionary, and I'm just printing print reversed of dictionary. Let us see like now what we are going to get the error over here. Okay, now or we are going to get anything. It is saying reverse key iterator object is this. It is actually in the reverse order of the keys. Now it is not reversing the entire dictionary. Now if I'm giving like let's say for example, if I'm giving like it is a list, for example, it is a list, and then let us see what it is going to give us. It is saying this is the key in the reverse order, like 987, A23, then AAXB, then all these things, right? So this is the reverse order. And if you want, like in the reverse order, you want to actually print the elements, definitely what we can actually do, we can take it out, and then definitely I can specify here for key in list of reverse order of this list, and then print I want the values like it should be like 2 3 2 3 4 1 12 8 9 0 7 6 and all these things. Then I can specify order of key. Okay, if I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually printing in the reverse order 2 3 4 1, then 12 8 9 0 7 6 5 6 7 1 2 3 4. Now if your requirement is you want to reverse the entire dictionary, then how do you do it? The first thing what we need to do is you need to print the items in the reverse order. How do we print the items? Like order dot items. We can actually convert the order dot items. Now, if I'm giving order dot items, it is actually printing this way, right? So now this is a list. So I can actually print this. I can actually print this in the reverse order, or I can say like the reverse order I want this, reverse order I want this, reverse order of items. Okay, if I want the reverse order of items, then here you can say it is saying like a reverse item iterator, like we got the reverse item iterator. Now if I want to have it, let's say for example order dot items, I want explicit list function, and then followed by that I'm just using like reversed. Let us see what's going to happen. I think it is missing here. It should be like now reversed of this. Okay, now if I'm running this program, here you can see it is saying like list iterator object. So now if I want to convert this like to a list again and then see it here like now what's going to happen here. Now here you can see it is actually converted in 987. You just look at the keys 987, A23, AXB, ORD, and then all these things. The last one is actually ORD 1234. If you want this in the dictionary format, this is again a list. So what we can actually definitely do is we can pass it to the dictionary method, like print dictionary of the entire value. If I'm running this program, here you can see this is actually printing. Okay, so something went wrong. It is because of print. Because of print, uh, it did not actually work fine. So now this is the result what we need to pass it. Okay, this is what we need to pass it here. And then if I'm running this program, here you can see it's a dictionary in the reverse order. So whenever the requirement is like do in the reverse order, you can do it and again pop it in this order. Then what you need to do, let's say for example, you want to use a pop of this particular dictionary and that pop should be like happening from the first element to the last element. First you need to reverse the dictionary, then pop it. So if you want to actually reverse this, then what we can actually do is this is how you are reversing, and we can actually take it and then put it in the while loop. While dictionary dot reverse or whatever it is, right? Or while dictionary is here. Okay. Anyway, we need to store this. So it is easy. Like what we can do here is I can specify reverse dictionary equals to this is reverse dictionary, and in the reverse dictionary I can specify the dictionary like this, and I can specify here while directly reverse dictionary. Then here I can specify print, then dictionary reverse dictionary dot popitem. That's it. So now if I'm running this program, here you can see it is actually popping out terms like now order 1, 2, 3, 4, then order 3, 4, 5, then last order is actually this one like 987 ORD 1, 2, 3, 4. So it depends like we can actually do n number of operations. Again, it depends like what you want, and accordingly you can definitely go ahead run the program and use it. You can use for loop, you can use while loop, you can actually use all the methods whatever is actually specified here. So that's the reason I told like we cannot use reverse directly. We need to do some manipulation because dictionary reversal is not possible. And count again, it is like counting the values. Let's say for example, I am having 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, and all these things, right? So let me put another key value pair over here, and I want to get the count of, because key duplicate key is not supported. I'm just giving capital A here. I want to count 89076. How many times it is actually present? Now here what I can do here is like a print the dictionary's order dot values dot count order dot values dot count of what count of 89076, because 89076 is a number. Let us see like how many times it is there. Is it throwing any error or anything? Dictionary values object has no attribute count. It should be there. Like okay, I think there's a by default it is not possible, and I'll just let you know in my like an upcoming session how to use count over there. I think we're done for today.